to be hosted by the company Direct Supply, and Wade is our guest. We also want to thank the Career Track Committee for organizing the events. These opportunities are for all of you students to engage in your career exploration, which is crucial to your college experience. Be sure to complete the registration form that is in the chat. It is already dropped in there, but I will, of course, drop that again. The purpose is, yes, to track you, but this helps anyone in your university to essentially help you and know a little more about what you need as you advance in your career exploration journey. Additionally, the career tracks are a UW system initiative. So this is supported by former UW President Tommy Thompson. This is the third year that the tracks have been conducted. Since 2020, the career tracks have evolved into a virtual initiative. 13 different tracks occur during the semester, and each week, career track is hosted by a different UW school. The next series of career tracks for this upcoming semester will resume in late January of 2023. Again, there is going to be a registration form at the bottom. Help us help you by signing up so that you can hear more about the future career tracks. And with that, I would like to hand over the screen to Wade from Direct Supply.
Thank you, Ashley. I appreciate it. Again, my name is Wade Krogwald. As you can see from the title screen, I'm the campus recruiting manager at Direct Supply. Super excited to be able to do this. As I go through this, there's a couple of things I want to touch on, but please also feel free to ask questions as well. I don't want to just talk at you the entire time. I want this to be more interactive as well. With that, though, if you just joined, I did throw a question in the chat around when looking for an internship or a job, what do you want to know about the role or the company? If you want to put your comments in the chat, that would be helpful as well. So what I plan on touching on as we go through this is going to be, and of course, technology always works perfectly until you go to use it.
Wade, what you do or what's going on?
Oh, cool. Got it. Sorry, I'm just a little slow, Ashley. Thank you. So I want to share a little bit about Direct Supply, who we are, what we do, provide an overview of the opportunities, and then look and share what we look for as well. In my role, I've been in the recruiting role here at Direct Supply for just over 22 years. That's a long time. I've been in the recruiting field for almost 30 years. So I do have a fair amount of experience. So as I said, as you have questions, please ask those questions. I'd love to be able to answer those for you. So Direct Supply, our mission is to enhance the lives of America's seniors through our commitment to senior health. At the end of the day, we want the seniors to have that type of an attitude, that type of an emotion while they're in the communities that they're in. Again, enhancing their lives. At a high level, we help build, equip, and run senior living communities. So from a build standpoint, we have renovation, remodel, new construction projects. Equipment, we sell all the stuff they need to operate their communities on a day-to-day basis, from wheelchairs and beds to cleaning supplies, rehab therapy, karaoke machines, which I've been banned from using. I'm eventually getting over that. But all the stuff they need are things that we sell. We don't warehouse any of the products that we sell. Everything's drop shipped from those vendors directly to those communities. That means about 1,200 vendors we work with, and we touch about 45,000 facilities throughout the United States. We work with about 95% of the nursing homes in the US from Milwaukee, is where we're based, in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And then we have 2 e-commerce platforms. So a facility management platform, so a platform that helps them manage their equipment, their supplies, the things that they need to use on a day-to-day basis. It tracks all of that equipment. And then we have an e-commerce platform as well. So with that e-commerce platform, it tracks their spend and allows them to buy the equipment and the supplies that they need. From a company standpoint, our principles are pretty straightforward. I feel these are our values. And
Wade, you're muted. I think we lost you just quickly here.
Wow, that's kind of fun, isn't it? So from a direct supply principle standpoint, these are our values and our beliefs. The first one is treat employees as partners. That's our first principle. It's also based on the fact that we are 100% employee owned. And that really shapes and drives the mentality and our approach and how we treat each other as well. One thing I would encourage as you interview at organizations and places, be mindful of what their values and their beliefs are, not just what they say on their website, what they say in terms of their mission and principles, whatever that may be, but also how they actually treat people at their organization as well. So make sure you're asking questions about those things as well. That might sound like I saw on your website, one of your principles or your values is treat employees as partners. How does that translate on a day-to-day basis in this role, or how might I experience this as an intern working on your team? But ask for that example so you can understand how they actually act or how they actually behave, not just what they say. Also, as we hire talent, we always refer to what we call the BCDEs: brains, character, drive, and experience. So we're looking for intelligent people of high integrity who love what they do. That drive is a big part. And then the experience, whether it's work experience or life experience, the candidates are able to translate what they've done before and how that's going to help them be successful in the role that we're looking at bringing them into. So I do believe strongly that seeing is believing. So let me share a little video with you. Is that video showing?
It is.
Thank you.
We don't have sound on the video.
That would help, wouldn't it?
Are there captions maybe? Hmm.
Did the sound come through at all?
No, but it still looked exciting.
Okay. Well, at least we have that going for us. So you can see from a workplace, right? It's open, more open environment, more collaborative as well. People enjoying what they do and having fun with that. And I think the BCDEs, when you hire people who enjoy what they do, they're going to bring that same excitement to the role on a day-to-day basis. I saw, looking through the chat, I saw a couple of things that popped out at me. One was around like the culture. So I did want to share a little bit around our culture. I mentioned that we're employee owned. And I mentioned that that does shape how we interact with each other. So there's a level of trust at Direct Supply, which not all employers, like I've worked at other companies as well, but the degree and that level of trust wasn't always as high. But we do trust the people we hire. So as a result, we have and still operate in an in a hybrid work environment. So since the pandemic, that was one positive that came out of the pandemic, right? When you're in lockdown for X amount of months, years, right? We learned how to operate from home virtual. So I would say about 80% of our partners, employees are still working from home on a more regular basis. We have about 1,300 people that work at Direct Supply. So that's a fair amount of individuals who are working from home on a more regular basis. It's a more collaborative environment. Again, as an owner, we want to bring in people's ideas, their perspectives. and incorporate that into the role. We know as we want to grow as a business, we can't do things the same way. We do need to evolve over time, and those ideas come from throughout the organization. Leaders are focused on support and development of their teams, right? They want to help team members grow and be able to develop in the roles that they're looking at. We have an on-site fitness center, a dog-friendly campus as well, so partners can bring their dogs to work. And that's just, again, a different environment, and it's it's very refreshing when you see a dog and can interact with a dog as well. I would say the other thing about our culture is our mission. Because we are employee-owned, we commit to our mission, right? Enhancing the lives of the residents and those who care for them, and we're really focused on doing that. So I feel good about the work that we do as a business, and that's really important. As I think about and look at the different roles and types of positions that we have available, we have positions throughout the organization in a variety of functional areas. Like most businesses or all businesses out there, we do have accounting. Design for us is more of our interior design group. We have marketing, operations. We have a rotational program. That's our business internship, sales, supply chain, and technology. So a variety of areas that translates into, from a business type roles, we have accounting intern. We have a business development intern, which is a sales focused position. The business intern would feed into our rotational program. So we are looking for a rising senior to transition into that role. We have a financial analyst intern, innovation intern, marketing intern, supply chain analyst intern, and then full-time roles that are more business oriented, a customer support specialist, an operations specialist. And as of about 20 minutes ago, we have a couple of account managers that we'll be hiring as well, salespeople as well. From a technology standpoint, we have a product engineer intern, software engineer intern in our internship group, and then full-time we have client support and then software engineer as well. Our internship program is a little bit unique in that most of our internships are year-round, where it's a part-time schedule during the school year and then full-time during the summer. School is a primary focus for our interns, so we do want you and need you to continue to go to class and do well academically. And we want you to be able to apply those concepts and theories, what you're seeing in the classroom, into the role on a day-to-day basis. In terms of things that we look for, right? And I don't think we're that dissimilar from other employers. We know and we expect, whether we're hiring someone fresh out of school or if we're hiring an intern, we're going to spend time training them, getting them up to speed. So as a result, like passion for the role, right? We don't necessarily expect someone coming in with 10, or we don't at all expect them to have 10 years of direct experience in operations or supply chain or sales or software engineering, but we're looking for those experiences and things that you've done before. How do those experiences support what you're looking to do in this internship? So be able to pull apart those experiences that you've had, whether it was a server or a bartender or a part-time job at Parks and Recreation Department in your hometown. What are those skills you developed there? What were those experiences that you had that are going to help you be successful in the internship or the role that you're applying to? We're looking for strong collaboration, communication skills. So how do you work in a team? How do you communicate? Do you do that effectively? Does that fit our environment as well? Demonstrated desire to learn. So from a perspective of learning, as I look at students, you're all in class. You're learning the same things as your peers are in those courses or in those classes. I love to see self-directed learning. So what are you doing outside of the classroom? Maybe there's a topic that came up in class that you dug into further in your free time or over the weekend or a night. Maybe there is a project that you picked up, something of interest that you and a couple of friends got together and worked on with that. Maybe through a student organization or an extracurricular activity. Maybe you have an interest in marketing, and in the student organization, you took on the marketing role there and put together some programming and collateral to help increase the membership or increase events, attendance at events that the group was doing as well. So look for those opportunities where you're able to learn and apply those learnings outside of the classroom as well. And then ability to speak to the skills that you've developed. So look at those experiences and projects that you've taken on, be able to talk about those in the role as well. And again, don't dismiss those part-time jobs, those customer service roles. All of your experiences are important. So look back at those when you've had and identify when you've had similar experiences that are going to help you be successful in the role. I saw a question come in about doing job shadow opportunities. We don't actively have job shadow programs at the moment. We do, or at least for the undergraduate, the college level, we do some programming locally with Milwaukee Public Schools and some of the local outside schools as well, where we do bring in students for day-long events to help show them different career paths and experiences, but that's at the high school level. But if you are looking for a job shadow or want to learn more about a specific role, feel free to reach directly out to me, and I'll see what we can do to line up something more specific for you. Questions on what we look for? Feel free to either unmute and ask or type it in the chat.
Wait, I have a question.
Yes, please.
So in terms of majors that you look for when it comes to student candidates for internships or full-time opportunities, are you looking for specific majors for all opportunities, or do you look at relevant majors? Can you talk a little bit to that?
Yeah, thank you. Really great question. So in terms of majors and what we look for in roles, there are some roles where the major is going to be more specific because the role is more technical in nature. So for example, our software engineering intern, we're generally looking for software engineering, computer science, more of a technical field where you're building your education is supporting your success in that role. Marketing will generally look at marketing majors, advertising, potentially communications, where you're starting to apply your communications more in a marketing and education and branding perspective. So major is a factor in the roles, but it's not exclusive. We know that a person, right, student is more than just their major. It's also those outside activities, those other events that you're involved in that for us reinforce your not only passion for that field or that type of a role, but more importantly, your ability to be successful in that type of a role. So the more technical the role, probably major is going to come into factor, but some of our general roles, our operations, some of our sales roles, it's going to be more about the person and the personality that they can bring into the position.
Thanks, Wade.
Yep, absolutely. I saw a question in the chat that just popped in about May 23rd for supply chain, sourcing, procurement. We do post all of our current openings out there. We do have a supply chain analyst role that's out there. And then we will have some other roles too that I expect will continue to come up. So we do post roles on an ongoing basis. So I would encourage you to keep an eye on the website as we do post positions on an ongoing basis. The last thing I would say, like, you had some great comments in the chat about things that you're looking for, things that are important to you as far as an internship or full-time opportunities that you're looking for in terms of an employer. Here's some other buckets that I would encourage you to look at, right? That opportunity to learn, not only the role, right, and learn about the role and the function that you're in, but also the business. Your success in a role and in a company over time is going to be driven not only by your success in that role, but understanding the business as well. So look for opportunities as you interview at companies, look for opportunities and how they're going to support you to learn more about the business. Is there job shadowing in other fields or other areas, other roles? Do they do intro sessions and lunch and learns where you can talk with people in those fields and those other roles as well to build your business understanding? Because your career path might be within supply chain, or it might be within sales or marketing. It may also be that you started in an operations role and you realize you love the details and managing larger projects that come up, and you might jump into a project management role that might be outside of operations. So your career path may also be driven by your talents and your skills. So that's where learning the business and learning about other roles also across the business will help you build a more robust career path. Find out how mistakes are made, and how mistakes are handled. Like, do they support that? Do they give you an opportunity to learn from that as well? Mistakes are real, right? We make mistakes. At least I make mistakes quite often, but learning from them. If I make the same mistake, repeatedly, that's an issue. But if I don't make mistakes, I'm probably not trying hard enough, right? We view mistakes as an indication that you're extending yourself, you're trying new things, you're trying to learn, right? As long as you have logic and rationale as to the decisions you made and how you got to that point, that's perfect, right? Because we can educate and coach and develop from there and build off of that mistake. In terms of coworkers, like, what is approachability like? Do you like the coworkers? Are you going to be able to work with them as well? You don't have to be best friends with your coworkers, but is there a level of respect? Is there a level of collaboration? Do you feel like you can share ideas and have that comfort? Because learning, right, you're going to have to put yourself out to learn. And you want to make sure that your coworkers and the people you work with are going to be supportive of that. In terms of growth opportunities, asking about growth opportunities, whether it's through positions or growth through other projects that you're going to be involved in. Be mindful, though, with growth opportunities. The company is hiring you for that role that you're interviewing for. If you come in and through the interview process, all you talk about is, what's that next role? What's the next role? What's my growth? What does that look like? We're going to wonder if you're interested in that role that you're interviewing for, or if you're going to be really focused on growth and not really focused on success in the role. The best way for you to get to that next position is to own that position, be successful in that position, and show that you can do that well. And that might take 6 months, that might take 12 months, that might take 18 months, but asking through the interview process, that might help you understand what their expectations are. For example, you could ask the question, as I'm successful in this role, what might that next opportunity look like in terms of time frame and type of a role? In terms of culture, right? Look at how people are treated as well, right? Again, knowing their values and beliefs are part of that, but also asking how that translates. For example, I had a friend who asked a company like if they had a work flexibility and supported work-life balance. The company, of course, said yes, right? Because again, most companies, if not all, feel they support work-life balance. He got in there and his experience didn't really line up with what he was expecting and what he assumed would be the case. So if you ask a question, ask for that example. So work-life balance is something that's important to me. How do you as a leader, or how does a company support work-life balance for its employees? Again, asking for those examples are really important. I see the question here about applicant tracking system and next steps. So from an applicant tracking system, we do have our Direct Supply careers website. All of our roles are posted there. I would encourage you to take a look at that and apply directly there. We do also post on Handshake. So Handshake, really a great tool that you can search for different opportunities at companies. I'm sure you're more familiar with Handshake than I am. We do post roles on Handshake. Ultimately, though, we do ask that applicants apply on our careers page, as that keeps that central location for applications coming in. So yes, next step, please look through roles, apply to the one, or maybe there's a couple that are related, and apply for those through our careers website. What other questions can I answer for you?
Wade, while we wait for questions, I'd like to leave this open. I know that Direct Supply does a lot of work in terms of DEI and other inclusion initiatives. Can you tell our students a little bit more about that?
Yeah, absolutely. Where do I start? So place I would start, we have a number of groups internally that support our partners. One, we have a multicultural group. We've got big Black inclusion group. We've got PIT, Partners in Pride. We've got a veterans group, a women's initiative network as well. And our PEGs are partner engagement groups. Our first group started 10 years ago, and they've been really instrumental in providing support, resources, conversations to help not only the first group is WIN, our Women's Initiative Network, not only help female partners understand career path and have the support they need to be able to grow their career within direct supply, but it also helped others in the organization, males, for example, who aren't familiar with challenges and experiences, life experiences and expectations that some of our female partners had. So really, it also helped build that allyship as well. From an organization, we are focused on our inclusion and diversity efforts and activities, not only from a recruiting standpoint, but more importantly, from our benefit offerings and the support and activities within the organization to make sure that all of our partners feel included and valued in their opinion. Again, employee-owned company, right? Everyone as an owner, their opinions and values are important to us. Thank you, Ashley. Other questions?
What's your favorite thing, Wade, about working at Direct Supply day to day?
I would say the people. The people I work with, they love their job. They challenge me in that they're working hard and accomplishing some great things. And there's that same expectation that I have for myself as a result. I've worked at other organizations where it's, there's that 9 to 5 mentality. That's not my job. Or gosh, it's 5 o'clock, I'm leaving, right? We do have work-life balance, and there are, but in the same respect, like when there's something to be done, people jump in and help each other out, right? And that's really important. I really respect and value and love working with the people that I do. I also like the free soda. I mean, that's a minor thing. Tea, coffee, some of those little perks as an employee-owned company come into play also. Are there any position that allows you to interact with residents in the living communities you work with in supply? Great question, Cameron. So we do have community involvement. So we volunteer a lot, for lack of a better word. 2019 was the last full year in terms of our community involvement and being able to get back into the community. We volunteered about 12,000 hours back into the Milwaukee community. So we do have volunteer opportunities to share time and talents back into whether it's nursing homes, assisted living communities, just a variety of, and through a variety of means as well. So there aren't necessarily dedicated positions to work with the residents. We do have volunteer opportunities because it's really important for us to understand who our end user is and how we can impact the seniors in their community. Great question. Thank you for asking that. Other questions? So I see that we're at 2:30. So I'm going to wrap up. So again, and I'll hang on also. So as anyone has any additional questions, I'm happy to answer that. As you look at whether it's Direct Supply or any organization out there, I would strongly encourage you to figure out and identify what are your skills, what are your talents and your abilities. And then as you apply for the internships and those opportunities, be able to talk to those skills and those experiences that you've had and how that's going to support you to be successful in that role, in that position. That passion, that clarity around what you're good at doing and what you like doing is what we're looking for as an employer. That's going to come through on your resume. That's also going to come through during those stories and those examples that you shared during the interview as well. And then ask questions. If you aren't asking questions in the interview, we're thinking you're either not interested in the role or you're not taking your search very serious. So you need to ask questions throughout that interview process to really understand what is the organization, what are their values and beliefs, and how do they take care of their people? And then ask those questions that are important to you. What are you looking for, right? We looked at a couple of topics that you could dig into, but make sure you're asking questions to more clearly identify how that company and that role is going to support the needs and development that you're looking for out of that experience. But again, I really appreciate you taking time to pop in on this session. Please continue to do this. Your development is something that you control. So look for opportunities to continue to create awareness and build your understanding of what employers are looking for and different career paths that are available for you out there.
Wade, thank you so much. On behalf of the students, if we would like to connect with you in the future, what's the best way?
I'm on LinkedIn. It's probably the easiest way to get a hold of me. There aren't that many Krogwolds out there. So you can search for me on LinkedIn, Wade Krogwold. And I'm also in Handshake, and I'm also on a number of campuses. I'm around the Wisconsin ecosystem for schools quite a bit. So happy to connect that way as well for career fairs.
Awesome. Well, thank you to every student that showed up to learn a little bit more about direct supply today, but also for showing up for yourselves. Thank you, Wade, and Direct Supply, again, for your continued partnership to UW System Schools, as well as a thank you to UW System Career Treks Committee for their continued collaboration. If you joined us late or you would like to revisit this particular career trek, career treks can be found on the UW River Falls website. And this recording will be available this upcoming Monday, no later than noon.